To me it seems plain that saying reunion and abandonment of slavery would be considered if offered is not saying that nothing else or less would be considered if offered. But I will not stand upon the mere construction of language. It is true, as you remind me, that in the Greeley letter of 1862, I said if I could save the Union without freeing any slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing all the slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would also do that. I continued in the same letter as follows: what I do about slavery and the colored race, I do because I believe it helps to save the Union. And what I forbear because I do not believe it would help to save the Union. I shall do less whenever I shall believe what I am doing hurts the cause. And I shall do more whenever I shall believe doing more will help the cause. All this I said in the utmost sincerity, and I am as true to the whole of it now as when I first said it.
In this letter to Charles D. Robinson, dated August 17, 1864, Lincoln clarifies his position on slavery and the Union. He acknowledges that he had previously stated that he would save the Union with or without freeing the slaves, but explains that his actions regarding slavery and the colored race are solely aimed at saving the Union. Lincoln emphasizes that he is willing to consider any proposal that would save the Union, whether it involves reunion or the abandonment of slavery. He also states that he will do less whenever he believes that his actions are hurting the cause of saving the Union, and will do more whenever he believes that doing more will help the cause. Overall, Lincoln's letter highlights his unwavering commitment to saving the Union and his willingness to consider any and all options that will help achieve that goal.
The Republicans who remained steadfast to the principles of the fathers on the subject of slavery were the Conservative Party, while the Democracy, who insisted upon substituting something new, was the Destructives. But the South were threatening to destroy the Union in the event of the election of a Republican president, and were telling us that the great crime of having destroyed it will be upon us.
This quote is from a speech delivered by Abraham Lincoln on February 27, 1860 in New York City during his campaign for the presidency. In the speech, Lincoln contrasts the views of the Republican Party, which he describes as the Conservative Party, with those of the Democratic Party, which he characterizes as the Destructives. He argues that the Republicans are the true heirs of the principles of the American founding, including the principle that all men are created equal, while the Democrats have abandoned those principles and are advocating for something new, namely the extension of slavery into the territories. Lincoln also acknowledges the threat of secession by the Southern states if a Republican is elected president, and he rejects the notion that the North would be responsible for destroying the Union in that event. He argues that the South's refusal to accept the outcome of a Democratic election would be the real cause of any such destruction.